Jason was my son, and today is his birthday.
I'm a messenger of God. You're doomed if you stay here.
Oh, okay.
What's up?
Hi, we're live.
You Can't Scare Us. I'm Portia.
I'm Karina.
Go ahead, Karina. Kick it off.
Yeah, welcome to our podcast. This is the premiere. I'm really excited to be here talking about horror with Portia. So, you talking about your surgery, what I just thought of was, it's not necessarily surgery, but that scene from Final Destination, I think it was 3, where the boy was in the dentist's office.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. And like everything, like that scene, like the part where like the thing fell in his mouth, like it was so many different things where we're like, okay,
it was he's
gonna get killed now.
And when the surgeon walked in, he kind of walked in looking like a horror movie surgeon.
Yes.
He had his like apron on and his hat was hurt. Then he came in with some music playing on his belt and he had gloves on. He was like, are you ready?
Right.
And I'm like, and I ain't got no choice.
What was crazy to me was like how nothing there killed him until he went outside. Like, it was like, oh my God. Okay.
That's how I felt. It was the worst, but I mean, hey, if I needed it to breathe better, by all means, but I do not understand how people actually go and pay money for nose jobs or nose surgeries and they really don't need it, because had I not needed it, I wouldn't have got it. But it was the worst. I'd rather have another kid than have sinus surgery. I'm not dealing with that, but that is that, and I am here.
Yeah. Thank God.
Man. So, Karina, what I want to do is let's go over, since we love horror movies and everything like that, What's the latest horror movie that you have watched?
So, okay, I don't know if this really counts as horror. I feel like it does. Like it was this new movie on Netflix called Red Dot.
Okay.
I think it's in a different language, but I definitely turned on the audio.
So there's subtitles.
No, you can actually change your audio to English.
Oh, you can. Okay,
on Netflix. Yes, just discovered this. Okay. Super happy. Gonna start watching hella foreign horror movies.
Just this movie, or can we do this with
you can do it with most of the movies.
What?
Yes.
And I've been like, I ain't watching that shit.
Yes, because I cannot watch a horror movie with subtitles. I'm sorry. I can't.
It gotta be real good in order for me to sit there and read it.
Well, my thing is this. I feel like when you're stuck reading subtitles, then you have to like read the subtitle at the bottom, then look up like,
yep.
And I can't do that.
Or I'm trying to say it like I think she would say it. Like,
right.
John.
Right. So thank God for that, Netflix. Keep up the great work with that, because now I can watch a lot more horror than before. Because before, when I heard like any other language, like I would be like, oh, what's this? And as soon as like the preview showed them talking and they're like, I'm like, yeah, I'm not watching this. So luckily this movie had the English audio because and it was actually, the audio was pretty good. Like it wasn't cheesy, like how like it fit. Only thing is like their voices did, like it didn't look like how they would talk or whatever.
I've seen some movies like that.
Yeah, but it was still good. So it was one of those horror movies where it wasn't like I would say it was like a horror / thriller.
Okay.
Because it wasn't really like anything scary or like a monster or, it was kind of like that real life horror. Like, damn, this could happen.
Oh, okay. So
this could happen
like
to no, nothing supernatural, no monsters.
Did Did you find any, I want to say, were there like jump scares or anything?
No, there wasn't any jump scares. I mean, okay, so I'm just gonna warn you guys right now. If you haven't watched this movie, you might not want to, because there's gonna be spoiler alerts.
Yes,
obviously.
Yes, we do want to tell y'all that some of the movies that we will talk about will be a spoiler alert, only because we just like to get in depth, and sometimes we're a little bit carried away. However, I mean, you can still watch the movie. I don't think we would spoil that much. Sometimes I look at it as though it would make me want to see the movie. But
okay, so I'll try to like give some spoilers, but not really give like the spoiler.
Don't give us too much.
Right.
Give us enough.
Right. So the movie it starts off with this couple, like they're happy. They're getting the man proposes to the woman, whatever. Then we fast forward to like, I don't know if it was like years or months. They didn't really give a timeline.
Okay.
Where they're kind of like stuck in this rut where they're together, they're getting tired of each other, whatever. So the husband comes up with this idea for them. I think they're like in the Netherlands or something. I don't know.
Okay.
But he comes up with this idea for them to go have a nice getaway. So this kind of was like, I feel like it could qualify as a Valentine movie, even though we're not like.
Why do I feel like?
I think it just came out.
Wait, did she have a necklace on?
No.
Okay, so this is a different movie that I'm thinking about.
Right. So yeah, they get away. They're going to like this skiing. I wouldn't even call it a resort because it wasn't. It was just snow.
Okay.
Like they could have just came here to get away. Yeah, it was in Wisconsin, basically. That's what it looked like. I mean, it wasn't like your typical, like what we would be used to, like skiing resorts, like, like I forgot what it's called. It was just basically snow.
Okay.
So they're skiing, they go skiing, and I guess it's going to be romantic because it's under the northern lights and they're camping.
In the fucking snow?
Yes. So that was like I'm going to get to that because that was kind of like my issue with this movie. I'm like, wait a minute. So I'll get to that. And no, they weren't all white. The white was actually black. So this was a biracial couple.
Oh.
Or she was like some kind of like, she kind of looked like she was Somalian or something. Okay. She wasn't necessarily black, but she was dark skinned or darker, or she wasn't dark skinned.
Okay. So she lived a little bit.
Yes. Yeah. So
she would live a little bit.
So, they go get away, and basically they have issues with these guys they meet at a gas station. A little too friendly. It was some racism going on because they're a biracial couple. I don't know if that's still going on in the Netherlands or whatever, but that was an issue of the movie.
Okay.
So they go to the camping ground. So they're in a tent.
Okay.
A tent, like, and they, they had an issue with this guy, the guys from the gas station keyed their car. They went back and keyed their car, just a little silly stuff. So they go camping, they whatever. Then all of a sudden they see like a sniper red dot like on their tent.
Okay.
So, somebody is targeting them.
Okay.
And they're like, hey, stop, stop. Like they're just yelling. They're coming out of the tent, like just that. So, yeah. So, bottom line is they're the whole movie they're trying to survive in the woods and the snow
in a tent.
Well, no, they don't. They leave the tent.
Oh, come on now.
But my thing is this: so they leave the tent, during their whole chase with these guys, But actually, there's a twist. So it's I'm not going to say the twist, but the movie was crazy. Like it didn't end like I would expect it to. It actually had to me like not your typical horror movie ending where like the protagonist survives and kills everybody. Like it's a different ending. So what bothered me about the movie was they had found like this shelter thing to stay in while they were like hiding. Okay. So they don't have any coats. They left their coats in the tent. And
I would have been sitting there like, come on.
Yeah, I was like, what the heck? Really? Okay, so you guys forget your coats. And it looked like it was Milwaukee right now. So,
you need a code in this.
Yes. So they find this shelter, but they're like frozen in the morning. So I'm like, okay, this is my thing.
Like,
like they were frozen, like hypothermia is going to hit soon, like that. But they were still functioning, obviously, because then the movie would have just been over. But they're like frozen. So I'm like, okay, but so you mean to tell me this shelter wasn't warm enough to keep them? So what if they would have stayed in the tent all night, like? And they didn't have like a fire or anything, unless they had like a heater in the tent. Like, how would they have kept warm had this had not happened anyways, if they were still stuck in the tent? And so, you know, it was a good movie though. I would say like it'd be a good movie to watch this weekend if you like horror with Bae.
I might have to check that out. Okay. So the last movie I watched, I'm rolling with Hulu on this one because Hulu has stepped their game up with horror movies. So the last, I watched
my subscription.
Well, I watched 2 movies actually, but one of the movies I want to talk about for our Valentine movies. But I just watched on Thursday, today is Saturday, Thursday on Hulu. It's called Flesh and Blood. Mm-hmm. So Flesh and Blood. So it's a daughter, about a college age, 20-year-old-ish girl and her father. They just suffered a tragedy, which it says it in the synopsis. She lost her mother. Mm-hmm. So of course she's dealing with that. She's grieving with the loss of her mom. She developed the disorder where she doesn't want to go outside. So she's in this peer group on the computer where they talk to each other about seeing did you make it outside? Did you go to the mailbox? Did you take a step on the porch? So she has her support group, but not actual friends.
Wait. You said this was Mother?
She lost her mother.
Oh, okay. I thought this was that other movie on
Hulu.
Hulu.
She lost her mother, so it's her and her father. They're living in this. He's decided to renovate the house, so there's a lot of renovation going on in the home. Mm-hmm. The only person that the girl sees is her therapist, who comes over to talk to her, to try to help her get over this fear of not wanting to go outside. So then he leaves a lot. He's always going to work in a white work truck, like the killer vans.
Yeah, like the rapist vans?
Them, yes. So he leaves to go to work every day in a rapist van. And she's trying to figure out, where are you going? Where's he going? So he leaves to go to work in this van, and he stays gone all day. So she's home in the house by herself every single day. So she decides to investigate because one night she heard him in the attic rumbling around. So she's like, is he in the attic all the time? So she goes into the attic and she discovers, spoiler alert, a box of jewelry. Okay. Which is not her mother's. Her mother was a flight attendant. Ooh. And the story goes that her mother was murdered and the murderer is still on the loose, which is why the girl developed this disorder, because she's afraid if she goes outside, she's going to get murdered like her mother. So she finds a box of jewelry that she starts going through, like, okay, this isn't my mom's jewelry. Whose jewelry is this? So it's around Thanksgiving. Her father ends up giving her a gift for which was also her birthday. She was celebrating her birthday and then Thanksgiving, so he gave her a birthday gift. She's watching the news and she sees the exact same gift on a missing girl. Oh. So she's trying to put this together. Okay,
Dad is a rapist.
So I see a gift that my dad just gave me on a missing girl. I find a box of jewelry from a whole bunch of women that's not my mom.
Wait, what is this called again?
Flesh and Blood.
I'm gonna have to watch this.
You leave to go to work every day in a rapist van.
Right.
And then the therapist goes on to tell the father that, with her medication, she may suffer from delusions and
they always say that.
All this and that. So when she starts to question her dad, she actually questioned him about where'd you get the jewelry from, this and that. And he's like, oh, are you taking your meds? Like, she's crazy. All of a sudden, it just flips into this suspenseful thriller. And I'm like, oh my God. So I don't even want to give it away.
Right.
But there are so many twists. This movie will keep you on the edge of your seat because you didn't see that coming and you didn't see this coming, but it is so good.
What was the craziest twist?
The craziest twist that I would say is that,
or like, what was something crazy that happened in the movie? Like,
I will say that he made a confession
to his daughter.
He made a confession. I would want to say she ended up running and hiding from her father in her own house because he decided to try to attack her.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a little bit going on in the house of them running from each other and playing hide and seek.
Was it a big house?
The movie made it seem like it was a big house.
Right.
I was like, how the fuck they get an attic that big? How they get a basement that big?
Right.
Like, what did she crawling? Like, where did all this come from? So I would say there's a little bit of hide and seeking in the house. There's some deaths. Some people get murdered.
Okay.
There's blood, a lot of blood, a lot of suspense. I think Hulu did a great job. Hulu has really stepped it up. So, yeah. Watch Red Dot with your boo, but if you want to get a little bit of a jump scare,
we're watching that tonight.
Here or there.
If you're watching, baby, we're watching that tonight.
You're gonna want to watch Flesh and Blood on Hulu because I gave it a thumbs up. It was really good. It was something that if it came out on DVD, I would buy it.
Oh, okay.
It was like that.
Okay, so I guess it's worth me renewing my Hulu subscription.
Yeah, and then I think the price of Hulu went down. Because the price of Hulu went down while the price of Netflix went up. So I would definitely, give it a try with Hulu. I mean, they have not let me down once with them. And they just got... They
let me down.
They just put Antebellum on there. So Antebellum is now on Hulu if you haven't seen it, because I've been waiting.
Did you watch it?
Girl, I wasn't paying no $30 to...
No, I'm saying, did you watch it now that it's on Hulu?
I didn't watch it. I saw it yesterday because I was looking for...
You're going to want to watch it for our next podcast because we're doing like Black History.
I will. I was looking for a Valentine movie because I wanted something newer to talk about. So they had some dumbass movie. I'm going to tell y'all about this.
Well, I'm glad you watched it. I watched like...
movie.
I didn't necessarily watch... Because I really didn't like the Valentine's Day movies like that have come out. I mean, Valentine was cool. Like I thought that I liked that when I was younger, like when I was a little girl.
Yeah, that was good too. I know Valentine was really good. My Bloody Valentine was really good.
There's two of those. So there's the original and the remake.
Yeah, that's really good. And then, there's just a bunch of movies out there that have to do with like horror love stories.
Yeah, that's
I would want to say, like, when it comes to horror love, my favorite is Return of the Living Dead 4. That is the one where it starts off with him and his girlfriend are on the motorcycle and they have a motorcycle crash and his girlfriend died.
I don't know if I see
And his father actually worked in the chemical factory where they were experimenting and bringing things to life. And he knew this. So he took his dead girlfriend, snuck her into the factory to bring her back to life. So she ended up coming back to life as a zombie. And he's trying to train her like not to eat people. But because she's a zombie and that's what she really wants to do, she can't help herself. So, of course, she starts killing people and eating people.
Right.
But just the fact that as she's turning and becoming more of a zombie, it's almost like she knew this was my man. I'm not going to eat you. But it was like one of those horror love movies. I mean, there's so many Return of the Living Dead movies, but that one was my favorite one.
I think my favorite horror love movie would have to be Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yes, I love Bram Stoker's Dracula. I don't know why. I love the fashion, like the old, like Victorian, like their wardrobe was crazy in that movie. They
did real good with that one.
I love me some Keanu Reeves.
And he did good too.
Yes, Winona Ryder. I like Winona.
She's a good actress to me. She does so good.
She is a good actress, but I think she had stopped getting so many gigs because
she stole all that shit.
Yeah, she stole all that shit. But Stranger Things made sure that she will not steal her wardrobe because her wardrobe sucks in Stranger Things.
They got her stuff from, I think they said like Walmart.
Yes, like she looks terrible in Stranger Things. Like I'm like, and that's what I was telling my boyfriend about because he doesn't know anything about he didn't know anything about Winona Ryder. I finally got him to watch Stranger Things because he was He was not trying to watch it. He's like,
"Oh,
this
tell
is
me
be...
he love it."
I hope you love it. He will not admit that he loves it now, but he likes it.
You have to. Stranger Things is the shit.
It is. I love it. Even though I didn't grow up in that time era, I love Stranger Things. Like the kids are great. Like
they are really good.
And this last season, yeah. See, I'm not, but I loved it. I loved it. And so, my boyfriend didn't know the whole Winona Ryder joke, so I'm like, yeah, when people steal things, they'll call it like a Winona, like white people do. And he's like, that's so. He just thought it was the funniest thing. Like it was funny, but I'm like, that's when I was like, yeah, they made sure she ain't gonna steal this wardrobe because yeah, she looks like a trailer park.
Yeah, they gave her all the cheap stuff.
But back on topic with Bram Stoker, I think I loved Dracula. Like I thought the story was beautiful and it was sad
like
to
it
me.
Wasn't even like a horror movie,
right?
It was like you felt for them
and John Keanu Reeves' character, like he just did everything he could to save his fiance. Like like it was so sad and she ended up she chose Dracula.
Yeah,
I mean, but Dracula was fly in the movie. That part where he had on his little glasses when he was
I mean, but who can't resist Dracula? You know,
right.
Almost in every single movie where there is Dracula,
he's gonna
always get the woman. He's got that sex appeal. It's something about Dracula.
And even if he's ugly, like even if the actor is ugly that's playing Dracula, you still want him.
It's just something about is how he caresses you, how he talks to you,
finesse, like
how he comes into the night and whispers in your ear.
Right. Come with me.
Like, you come take me, Dracula.
Right. And you know, it was just like even Vampire in Brooklyn, like I was just thinking about this the other day. That's another like vampire love story I like too, but it was kind of confusing too because like when you know Dracula or Maxim, wasn't his name Maximilian?
Yeah, Maximilian, I think it was.
How he was like, well, Rita, I knew your father, and I'm like, well, what, like he was like uncle, like why are you, you know? But I really wish they would make a sequel to Vampire in Brooklyn. Like,
yeah,
I love
those vampire
that.
movies be really good. That makes me think of one. It was based off of a book. This one had what is her name? This had I cannot think of her name, but she played one of the witches on with Shannon Doherty. She played one of the witch sisters, but she was in this movie Embrace of the Vampire. Have you seen that?
No, and I usually love like vampire.
So
Dracula.
It was based off of a book. I read the book as a teenager, and I was in love with the book, and so they ended up making a movie. But I cannot think her name's on the tip of my tongue, but she gets kind of, you know, Dracula does his thing,
right? Seduces
her. And she falls in love with him. And the whole thing is leading up to she wants to be bitten so bad because she wants to be with him for eternity.
This sounds like the vampire version of 50 Shades of Grey.
But it's almost like he doesn't want to give in because he doesn't want to ruin her life.
Right.
Because
most vampires like that fall in love with humans.
He's telling her like,
I'm gonna sue.
This is gonna ruin
right.
you. Are you sure you want this forever?
I'm gonna condemn you to death.
But she's like, I love you. I want to be bitten. And there's a sex scene in the movie, and I feel like you cannot have a horror movie without a sex scene. It's got to be in. They throw it in there all the time.
I haven't seen any really good horror movie sex
the other day
movies.
where you wouldn't even think sex was going to come into the movie because they was running and people was getting slashed and
right. Wait, but let's have sex.
Wait. Let's have sex, and then all of a sudden, she was just naked, and I'm like, where the hell? What
the world's ending, but let's get it in one more time.
If you don't put y'all clothes on and run,
that's like that sex scene on Cabin Fever. Like
that came out of the blue.
They're all contaminated. They weren't even to get it was his friend's girl that he just had to bust that nut. I guess
that
one
just
more
came
time.
out of the
like we're both contaminated.
I'm sorry,
skin
but
falling off.
If it was a choice between orgasm and life, I think I'm going to choose life. I mean,
I'm gonna choose orgasm.
So you gonna die. You go.
I mean, well, okay, for cabin fever, they were already gonna die anyways. They got that skin condition and it was over. But I don't think I would want to have sex with somebody if my skin was burning and like falling off. That's not sexy.
No, it's not. I wouldn't. But I mean, if I already know that I was doomed anyways and I was gonna die and we just gonna die, then I guess let me get my last feeling in, then die.
Maybe if it was like 28 days later they had sex in there too.
Yeah, that's true.
And zombies were trying to eat their brains and
There was some fast zombies, though. I must say.
Yeah, 28 days. Okay. Yeah, 28 days later, zombies are like
them zombies. They was like Olympic, like running zombies. Like, where'd you come from?
Right.
But I was looking up some stuff. There's not a lot of Valentine actually like with the word Valentine or Valentine movies for horror movies that are out there. But it's a lot of like. It's like love movies, like Warm Bodies.
I love Warm Bodies. I love it.
They even talked about or tried to put Rosemary's Baby in the category of a Valentine's movie.
Valentine's Day with the Devil, I guess.
And I'm just like, okay, I guess I can. I don't know. I can kind of see it, but it's not. I wouldn't put that in.
Like, were these like options on Hulu?
These were. I guess, what were they? Movies to watch to celebrate Valentine's Day if you love horror movies.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So funny story right now. My eye keeps getting caught on this glue that I tried to use to put on lashes earlier and I just did not put them on. So my eye just got stuck right now and I went like so if you see me messing with my eye, that's why I have excess lash glue. That I cannot get off. So.
That is great. You got eye problems.
I'm trying to be cute today. And
y'all,
it just
my
did not
nose
work
is
out.
over here I'm like, hold it in, nose, hold it. We got issues, but
my hair is wet still.
we here for y'all. So what movies do you plan on watching tomorrow? Anything special?
That movie you just talked about, for sure.
Oh yeah, that's a must.
I think too, like, for like, I probably will watch Valentine because I like it. I like the concept of Valentine. I think the actors were kind of cheesy. Like they were kind of like the 90s, like Friends kind of like.
They had, who's that guy from
Buffy?
Yes.
Angel. I can't remember his name.
Yes, him.
Or Bones. He's in that new show Bones.
Yeah. So the acting was I don't know.
I like Denise Richards. I mean, she's always hot. Like,
yeah, she's good in everything. Wasn't she also an Urban Legend?
I think so. I thought her killing scene in Valentine was pretty creative, and there was some foreshadowing when she was like, when they went speed dating, she was like, "I'd rather be boiled alive." Yeah. And then she ended up getting boiled in the hot tub. Like
that almost.
I love a good foreshadowing.
Was that the killer?
Right. Well, the thing that Valentine failed at to me was like, okay, so you remember like when they were on that speed date or the beginning where the friend was on a speed or a blind date and she met that guy when he had that piece of like spinach in his tooth.
Yeah.
And he was like talking to her in third person, like, I want to see you again, or Todd would like to see you again, or like he was just corny as hell. So they like put him in another random scene in the movie where you're like, is he the killer? And then you just never saw him again. My eye just got caught again. Like, I'm like, oh my God, my eye's gonna get stuck like that. But yeah, and then the ending kind of confused me too, because okay, I know like it got pinned on the one friend that was the fat girl when they were younger. And when they did like that scene in the beginning where they were showing them as like high schoolers, the actress who played the younger Denise Richards was like spot on.
She was.
Like, I'm like, is that her kid or like?
You know what? I thought it could have been. And sometimes I think they do that. But yeah, it was but I kind of feel like when you start getting into those like middle 90s, late 90s types of,
it was definitely like one of those Scream kind of horror
early
movies.
2000 type of movies. It's almost like I almost felt like they were trying to figure out what they're trying to do, because there were so many new things that were coming out for horror movies.
I think where they failed at too, they didn't make me really care about these characters.
Yeah,
like I mean, we ended up caring about like the protagonist, the main girl, but like they kept trying to make us care about this relationship between her and Angel or whatever that actor's name that we didn't really care about, or we didn't really know too much about to even.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, let's throw in a relationship here.
Yeah. I feel like I need somebody to root for, like when it comes to like certain horror movies, I need somebody that I feel some type of attachment.
Yes.
Towards.
And I think
so I'm rooting for you for the whole movie.
That horror movie Red Dot that I watched this morning, that did a good job. I really cared about the female character in this movie. And
yeah, that keeps your interest. Like for Flesh and Blood, my thing was rooting for the girl.
Mm-hmm.
She was the person that I was rooting for. I wanted to see her, just make it, like get there, like, oh my God, girl, you got this. Like I started off watching this movie, like laid back on the couch, like chill, like, okay, all right. Then I started off in the middle of the couch, like, I like movies. And then
like
I ended up on the edge like this, like, girl, like yelling and stuff. So yeah, it was one of them movies. It was one of those.
Yeah, I thought that the Valentine's movie had some pretty creative killings. I liked the doll mask.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of like the little Cuban mask was kind of creative. I like that one cool art exhibit scene.
Okay.
Where you remember when they were like, they had like different clips of people.
Yes.
And that one part where the guy's like, love me.
Silhouettes
yes.
Yeah.
That scene was really cool. Like when that guy kept saying, love me. Yeah. Love me. Like, it was like, okay.
Yeah. That was really nice.
Pretty creative. I'm hoping that something like that happens in the new Candyman. It looks like there's going to be some of that going on.
I'm surprised though, they're always making sequels to stuff, that there hasn't been a Valentine 2 or like a sequel to this movie. I feel like almost everything so far that has been really good has had a sequel.
Could they really make a sequel with that? He killed all the friends.
Get a new batch of friends.
Well,
there are some sequels who start off with a whole new group of people.
Or it could be because she didn't know that it was him at the end. And
true.
We knew because his nose started bleeding.
Yeah.
Which she should have
put it all together.
Yeah, like, okay.
You would have thought.
Oh my God, my eye's stuck.
We just gonna need you to keep your eye open for the whole rest of just
no expressions. That was funny. It could be a sequel where she finds out that he's actually the killer.
That'll be a good one. Now watch, we talking about it now, and then we're gonna see an advertisement for a new Valentine movie.
That's because they always take our ideas. They're listening.
They always listening. They always out there. The funny thing about
they need to make a horror movie about that.
Girl, speaking of always listening, so this has nothing to do with horror. So my son was asking me for a phone charger because his phone was dying and he lost his phone charger. Mm-hmm. So he's yelling to me upstairs and I'm yelling to him downstairs. Of course, we got phones all over the place. So I'm yelling down to him, you need to be more organized with your phone cords. Why don't you find a box or something to put all of your cords and plugs and chargers in so that throwing out a suggestion. Later on that night, of course, I'm checking emails. I'm checking notifications with Instagram. I see notifications for Facebook. Mm-hmm. So I decide to scroll through Facebook after checking my notifications. What do I see? Here's a sponsored ad for Amazon.
Oh my God.
It actually had pictures of different cords for a cord organizer in a little zippered pouch with a handle for you to easily
that's crazy
hold all of your cords and plugs. And I was like, look now.
I'm trying to think of like, there was something crazy this week that kept popping up on my
Was it the wig head with the blow dryer in the mouth?
No. What is that? No, it was something that I had been talking about this week, but not something that necessarily was for me. I work at a hospital now, so I'm pretty sure it was something. I don't even remember, but I was like, these motherfuckers are listening.
And I don't even know where this blow dryer in the mouth thing came from, because I wasn't okay.
Blow dryer in the mouth.
So what it was, I'm scrolling through Facebook, right? I see this sponsored ad, and based off of the picture, I go straight to the comments, because I'm like, okay, these comments, they're gonna be hilarious.
Right.
Based off, it's a picture.
Wait, but what is the product? I'm confused.
So the product is the product is supposed to dry wigs.
Okay.
And you're supposed to lay your wig on this head-shaped thing that looks like a hair dryer. It's got a whole bunch of holes in the shape of a head.
Okay.
You're supposed to lay your wig on this head with all the holes, but then the mouth portion of the head, the mouth is open like this. So you stick the blow dryer.
This sounds like a sex toy.
You stick the blow dryer in the hole, and it's supposed to shoot air through the little holes in the head. That's supposed to dry your wig. But you can only imagine what type of comment.
Was a prototype a blow up doll or something?
No,
that's what it sounds like.
It was just a head.
No, I'm saying whoever created this invention, was the prototype, were they just sitting with their blow up doll one day and was like, "Ooh"?
And the comments were crazy, because they were saying stuff like, "Oh, I guess that's a real blow job right there," and I was like, what is this? It's gonna pop up on your phone now, because we're talking about it. But you're gonna see it. It was literally the shape of a head with a bunch of holes in it, with the open mouth, and you stick the blow dryer in the mouth, and it's supposed to dry the inside of your wig. And I was like, oh, okay.
Was it called the blow job? Because that's what I would have named it.
The word blow was in there somewhere. I don't even know what it was
blow
called.
For you.
But the word blow was in there, and I was like,
blow your wig off.
Where is this coming from? Because I didn't say anything about hair needing to dry anything, wigs. I don't know, where is this coming from? But yeah, it's popped up a few times. I've seen that pop up on my feed. But yeah, they are crazy with that. But it's been so many crazy love. I would say, I don't know why they had Rosemary's Baby on there. They had,
it was kind of like, didn't she get? I've never watched that movie. Well, I watched the newer one.
You've never seen Rosemary's Baby? I feel like that's one of the top movies that you would have. It's it's up there. It's on the list. It's on the list.
I watched the newer one that had Robin Thicke's ex-wife in it. I think she was in the newer one that they made on Made
that
for TV.
Series?
Yeah, I watched that.
I think the original movie is something. I mean,
I think I'm gonna be honest.
She's so sweet in the movie, and her tone, and she's just so sweet.
You know what? I think I'm gonna be honest. Why I've never watched not my Rosemary's Baby. I have never watched Rosemary's Baby because the lead actress is just ugly to me.
But she's so sweet.
I think she was in that movie, Single White Female.
Yeah, and she was in another movie.
And I was just like, she
was in something else too. But the thing that I like about Rosemary's Baby is, if I'm watching a horror movie and there's something going on, whether it's a killing scene or there's a disfigured person, or something's going on in the background, I want to see it.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that they show you what this demon child looks like.
Oh, I don't think they showed it on the newer one either.
No, because I watched that. They actually show you what this baby looks, this demon baby
child.
And I'm like, oh.
You know what? I think, I don't know. I just don't have the urgency to watch that movie. Maybe I need to watch it. But it kind of gives me like American Horror Story fourth season.
Yeah.
Force.
It's kind of there. I think it's one of those movies that are just up there on the list of, traditional horror movies. Just something you would have to see.
I can see that. It's like kind of right up there with like Exorcism.
Yeah, they had that, and I'm trying to think what
I've
else.
never even watched that before.
You know,
I think it's stuff with like spirits. Like when I was a little girl, I think my mom was like, okay, she likes horror, but we're not going to let her watch shit with spirits.
No, I tried to watch it so many times. I think I finally watched it all the way through when I was in my 20s.
What, Exorcism
late 20s.
Or Rosemary's Baby?
Exorcist.
Yeah, I've never watched
it. I think I watched it in my late 20s, finally all the way through. I don't know what it was. I was like you, like I'm not messing
with the spirit stuff.
This spirit stuff. But then it was like, no, I need to see this because there's so many iconic scenes that people are always talking about. So I need to see this. So I finally just sucked it up and just sat there and I watched it. And when it was over with, I'm like, that wasn't that bad.
Yeah, I was kind of even like, I watched Poltergeist when I was a little girl, but I was kind of even skeptical, like watching that because I knew it was like a cursed movie. Like everybody died.
Them movies, like I told you before,
we need to have a whole episode about
mute
that.
The TV, if it's some exorcism or some conjuring up some spirits or whatever the case is going on, I will watch the movie up until you start to mumble and
right.
You are going to get muted because you are not
casting these demons in my house.
Not in my house. No, we're gonna mute the TV, and when you done with that, then we can put the volume back on.
Right. I don't like
not doing it. I mean, it's to a limit. I'm gonna watch it to a limit.
Right.
But I did try to watch some movie on Hulu. I done praise Hulu, but
oh yeah, you were gonna.
It was more of a documentary.
That's the Poughkeepsie
than
tapes.
A movie. So, that's not even the movie. The movie that I watched on Hulu was called My Valentine. But this that I tried to watch was a documentary, which I thought it was real, but it was kind of like a made-for movie documentary type style where they were trying to say that monsters exist. So the whole thing was fake, fake interviews, fake person, fake artifacts. And I was like, this is not interesting at all.
This sucks.
Normally, I'm committed. I will start the movie. I stayed committed for a good 30 minutes until I said, I can't.
What? Okay, so it was called My Valentine?
No, this movie was called, it starts with an M.
That's how much you didn't like it. You didn't remember what it was called.
It starts with the M, but the movie My Valentine. So I stayed committed to that because let me tell you, it started off, I thought I took every drug designed by man when I first started watching this movie because I don't know.
Wait, where are we going with this?
I don't know what happened. So the movie is weird as hell.
Okay.
So the movie starts out showing you posters of a pop star. And as it's showing you the posters of a pop star, it's like talking, like the person is like talking about her life over pop music playing.
Okay, so it's like a voiceover?
And yes, it starts off kind of like a voiceover. So then you're like, okay, I guess this is like leading me up to like what this movie is, I guess.
Uh-huh.
Then all of a sudden from there, it goes into a, she's like giving a concert at some bar. And normally how sometimes movies will play you maybe like 3-4 minutes of a song.
Yeah.
I felt like I was at her concert. She sang through the whole damn song in this movie. So, I mean, everything. I got verses, I got choruses, I got refrains, I got dancing. I said, what the hell? And then it was like, after that, it's almost like, okay, what is this? I guess the person who was singing, they were trying to say she took somebody's identity or something. So then this mysterious man walks in and pays the bartender all this money to close the bar down because he wants to talk to the girl who was just singing.
Okay.
They close the bar down, and I guess another girl appears looking just like the girl who was on stage singing.
So we have some doppelganger action going on.
Yes, but it's weird because it throws you back, and then they flash back to music videos rather than flashing back to like how we got here. Like they'll flash back to a little bit of like what happened in their love.
What was it about though?
Girl, I don't fucking know.
Okay, so that's okay, because I'm like, where are we going with this?
I don't even know. Basically, the movie.
And this was on Hulu?
I'm sorry. Y'all, Hulu is the shit. Don't get me wrong.
But was it made by Hulu?
This one was not made by Hulu, but it was.
It was just on
It
there.
was on Hulu. They had to have paid Hulu a lot of money to get this movie on there, because it was almost like I was watching late night VH1 from back in the 92. It was like, I don't know what this was. And then let me tell you how the movie ended. So you know how some the movies end with credits and some music playing, and sometimes the music is real good, so you don't want to turn it off.
Yeah.
These credits was music videos from these from the girls in the movie.
Okay.
So
basically what you're telling me, it sounds like they just wanted to promote their music and made a movie to do it.
The funny thing about it was, I'm sitting there is she real? I was about to try to Google it. I'm watching the credits trying to figure out, okay, who played who, so I can go and see if she got some real music. Because her voice wasn't bad.
Okay.
Her voice wasn't bad at all. I was sitting there okay.
Right.
Her voice there was some killing. There was some slashing. There was blood.
Okay, so it was a horror movie.
It was a horror movie. There was, I guess it started off, somebody got killed by accident.
Okay.
So then after the person got killed by accident, he kind of felt this adrenaline rush after this person got killed by accident.
Who, the killer or just some random person?
Just the guy. He didn't mean to kill this person. It was
so he did it.
He killed this person by accident, and then he got this adrenaline rush because he was fascinated by seeing this person die, and then he wanted to figure out, well, I wonder how long it takes the person to die. So they stood there and watched the blood drain out of this person.
Oh my God. So they just became a serial killer, accidentally became a serial killer.
And then some people were hiding in the bar that never left. Okay. And so then he got off on he started killing people. And then the acting sucked.
Okay.
Sounds like it. The acting sucked, but there was this one part where it was so funny. I wanted to record it and put it on my Snapchat, because he was like, "Baby, I love you. You know I would never hurt you." And she's like, "But you're killing people." And she dragged on the word people for 5 minutes. She was like, "You're killing." And I'm like, who?
Okay.
But it was their voices were not bad. The credits were music videos. And I was like, but it never showed me in the credits who the fuck the singers were. So I sat here and I gave you an hour and 30 minutes of my time and watched this horrible movie because I was committed with good vocals. Have credits. But you never told me who played these singers so that I can actually see if they have some music out there, because I know that's what you wanted me to do.
That's not good.
You wanted me to go see if they have some songs
right
here. And then they were wearing wigs, so I don't even know what they really look like.
Yeah, that sounds like you wasted an hour and a half of your life.
So if you see My Valentine on Hulu with a poster of a girl in a blue wig, just keep scrolling. Doesn't
sound good.
Just scroll on past it. Just don't give it your time. Or matter of fact, just fast forward all the way to the end and watch the music videos, because the singing was not bad.
So I think too, I was just thinking about this as you were talking. I was thinking about more Valentine kind of horror movies. Bride of Chucky.
Okay, I can see it.
I liked Bride of Chucky.
I did too. I can see
even
it.
though, okay, so when I first saw Bride of Chucky, I was young.
We gonna peak.
Right. I loved, I think Bride of Chucky is I think it's one of my top, it's up there on the list for the all the Chuckies.
Yeah. Cause some of them they could have just did without.
Probably the last 3.
Yeah. But the one where the girl was in the wheelchair, though, that was a good one.
I hated it.
I like that one.
I hated it.
I actually enjoyed it.
We're going to have an episode. We're going to start doing episodes soon when we run out of holiday theme episodes on those Chucky, Krueger, watching all those. I think we should.
I mean, I thought it had some good moments in there. I enjoyed it, but the one where the girl was in the mental hospital, I didn't like that one where she befriended the Chucky doll.
I don't even think Isn't that the Curse of Chucky? Isn't that the one with her in the wheelchair?
No, that is she comes. No, that's not that one. This is
could have sworn.
There's two different ones.
Okay,
so
wait. Did Andy come back on the one that you're talking about, or did he come back on the one?
He came back on the mental hospital.
Okay, that one I didn't. I just don't think I liked any of the Chuckies because I don't know. Maybe did the actor die that played Chucky or something? I don't know.
No, I think he kind of like bailed out as to wanting to be the voice for Chucky. So I think they had to end up. I mean, because Brad Dourif will always be Chucky to me.
And wasn't he the Crypt Keeper?
Yes.
I love.
Yes.
Now that's something that they need to bring back.
Thank you. The Cult of Chucky.
Okay, because all of the new Chucky sucked to me.
I thought the Cult of Chucky was
except
good.
for the remake. I thought the remake was pretty clever. I didn't like the doll either.
No, I didn't like the doll either. I laughed through that entire remake movie. I thought it was more of a comedy. It was funny.
Yeah, I just didn't get the whole
killing in the whole store.
the whole Tupac thing that they kept trying to make work with that one-liner with Chuck. I was like,
where is this coming from?
Where are we going with this?
That has nothing to do with even what's going on right now.
But yeah, Bride of Chucky to me, I think had some really cool kills, especially with the one with the couple in the honeymoon suite where they killed them together and they realized, oh, we're a match made in heaven.
Yeah, that was a good one. But yeah, there hasn't been.
Or we have like what we said last week, Sweetheart, because it's called Sweetheart. It doesn't have shit to do with Valentine's Day.
But because it was called Sweetheart, that one was really good.
Now, Sweetheart.
That's a good one. She survived her ass off in that movie.
And she was black.
That's a good one. That's on Netflix, not Hulu, y'all.
Yeah. I liked that. I liked Sweetheart.
And it's actually
it's something that could really happen.
We
don't know what's out in that ocean.
It is, yes.
Speaking of oceans, I finally watched Underworld.
Okay.
Or Underwater, not Underworld.
Yes. What do you think?
I hated the end.
You didn't like the end?
I hated the end because I wanted her to make it.
Yes.
I was like,
it had some action.
It did. But I think also with it being so dark, I hate movies that do that. There was some stuff
where I couldn't see.
Yes, because I'm like, what? But okay, spoiler alert. When they were like trying to go to the wherever they were going, where those things were sleeping.
Yes.
And then they all woke up, and then that big ass thing picked up. I was like,
wouldn't have been me.
I was like, first of all, me personally, I would not be underwater anywhere.
Because I found myself, I don't know if you found yourself doing this, but I was screaming at the girl who was running out of oxygen, who kept screaming, because I was like, first of all, that's your dumbass fault why you running out of oxygen. And then second of all, shut up.
Right. We don't want them damn things to hear us.
Like, shut up. Why are you? I would have left her ass back there. Like,
and I'm sorry. I could have done without the funny guy.
Yeah.
I think a lot of horror movies are doing that now where they're
having
trying to
that one funny person in there.
Like, stop. Okay. Like, are we rewriting the Scream rules of horror?
Yeah.
Because I could have really done without him. I love that actor. I think he's great.
Yeah, he is a good actor, but
not in horror.
It was like too much. It was too much. But yeah, I thought it was really good. It was packed with action. I love horror movies with a bunch of action that start as soon as it comes on and it doesn't stop. I love that.
See, I think we're different in that aspect because I love horror movies that give me like a story, like a background or a plot twist. I don't know, like, and I guess because Candyman's my favorite, like you really couldn't say like that really had like a plot twist or anything.
Yeah, it was just there.
I think what made like it was just like a black man being he's the killer. Like,
yeah. And it was funny because I was watching I was flipping through the channels the other day watching something and Todd Sweeney came up on something.
I love him.
I don't even know what it was.
You know, he was in Tales from the Hood 3.
He was?
Yes.
And it was so funny because when he popped up on the screen. It was almost like they was doing they was talking about some horror or something. I don't know what I was flipping through, but I had to remind myself that he's old. You know?
He's old as hell now.
I had to remind myself that he aged.
He's grandpapa.
And he is older, because every time I think about him, I go back to the Candyman image of him. So when he was scrolling through, I was like,
that little fur coat.
I was like, is that Todd? I mean, he looks good for his age, however old he is. I thought he looked pretty good.
I think Todd's probably like 70 now.
Well, in this particular clip, he could have probably been like in his 60s. In this particular clip that they were showing, he looked pretty good for 60 something, but I think that was older as I was flipping through. So he's probably gotten way older than that.
Well, I mean, he's gotten some gigs lately. Like I said,
he's aging gracefully. I mean, I got to give it to him. But every time he's mentioned, I just picture what he looked like as Candyman.
Right. Yeah. Nobody will ever be like able to do Candyman like him.
No, not at all. So I'm kind of excited for as you are.
So drop it, Jordan Peele. Oh, I get it though. Like if I was making something like that, and I think Jordan Peele, I think he just wants the theaters to open back up before he drops it, because I would not want to put something like that on Netflix either. Yeah.
Or to stream for download or something. Because if you like me, you ain't paying $20-something to stream.
I am
something. I cannot do it. I would rather spend my $20-something on anything else.
Well, I have Fire Stick now too,
than to stream. I used to have one until it went out, so I'm kind of stuck.
Well, if you need somebody,
I'm stuck. I used to be watching all types of stuff with my Fire Stick, but I'm not paying all that money to stream. I'll just sit there and wait.
If it's something like that I bought Antebellum because I was really anticipating that. I love Jordan Peele, even though Jordan Peele didn't make that. It was the same, producers or.
I'm definitely watching that either tonight or tomorrow. So that I saw it on Hulu. I was all excited because I've been waiting for this.
I watched that.
Wasn't paying on Apple Music, Apple TV. I wasn't paying for streaming on anything else. I took my time.
So you want to know something funny about that? I paid to watch Antebellum and I fell asleep.
What?
While I was watching it.
But don't they give you what they give you? Like
they give us 48 hours. So I did rewatch it, but I fell asleep.
Did you fall asleep because it was boring, or you just fell asleep? I was sleeping. Okay, because that's my thing. It's like I be wanting to watch a movie at like 8, 9 o'clock. And I'd be so awake, like, I'm ready for this. I sit there and I find my movie. I read everything, like, okay, this the one. Get my snacks,
right?
Get my blanket. I'll be good to go. And then I fell asleep.
Yeah, you'd be too comfortable.
So I'm just like,
and people would probably think that we're really crazy because we'll fall asleep to horror movies. Like most people, if they're sleeping, they don't want to watch it.
But I got myself one night doing that. So I was watching. I don't even know what it was. Some crazy shit on Prime TV for Amazon. They be having some weird ass movies on that Prime app. But I ended up just putting anything on because I was sleepy. I wanted some background noise. Yeah. I don't know how long I was out. I don't even know. But I woke up around my normal time, which is like 2:45, 3 o'clock in the morning. Woke up. I had all the lights out because I had the movie on. And I looked at my TV screen. The movie had gone off by now. And it was like showing, you know how it show you like ads, like different pictures of different movies that you can watch on Prime?
Yeah.
Well, I looked up, and as I looked up, it was a face. And the face was right on the TV with like these gleaming eyes, and literally scared the shit out of me. I was like, what? Then I had to realize, like, oh yeah, I did fall asleep with a horror movie. Oh, what is this?
The last movie that scared me that I fell asleep to, believe it or not, and this is gonna sound silly, was Slender Man. That part where they were in the library.
That that was the best.
That was the best scene of the movie because I was like, this is really creative. Like,
yes, it was.
That was a good.
It had me.
Trail of Slender Madness.
Yes, I was sitting there like that was the best part.
Because I don't know. Okay, this might sound weird too. So when I worked at my old job, not my new job, but my old job, I used to while I was working, I used to listen to like creepypastas. Mm-hmm. And the Slender, that part that they did in that movie, just that particular part, reminded me of a creepypasta that I had listened to about Slenderman.
Okay,
like,
so that really had you.
But okay, so that brings me like to I think what we should do next. So have you ever watched a horror movie where you're like, I could have did that better?
Yes.
I feel like I really want to make a movie about Slenderman, but I don't have the resources. So I think like what I want us to do is like every episode is kind of create our own episode or not episode, create our own horror movie about what we're talking about on the episode. So like Valentine's Day, and I'm gonna let you go first. What would be like if you had to create a movie about Valentine's Day, a horror movie? What would your Valentine's Day horror movie consist of?
Ooh, let me see, because there are so many areas and avenues I can go down with this. I would definitely want my person. I don't know if I want my lead to be a male or female as of yet. I think there's so many female leads. I would probably be different and do a male lead because there are so many female leads. So I would want a male lead. I think that it's just something about that Fatal Attraction type of horror movie. So I think I would want mine to be a man who is obsessed with a woman, probably a woman that he has not had but wants.
Okay. You said you.
No, not necessarily. Not necessarily that. But
What do you mean you?
But
I thought you were saying you like her.
I know where he was going with that. But
yes,
no,
you was crazy.
Not on that topic, but I think I don't know why, but I like to see people not so much being tormented, but trying to escape. So I would want him to have somebody held against their will.
Okay.
That he's obsessed with. Who is trying to get away. However, I love a twist. So I would throw a twist in the movie and have her get him back.
Like she's really the crazy one?
Yes, with her being the crazy one. And instead of him killing her, which we think he would do, she's actually going to kill him.
Okay, that sounds cool.
Yes, I think that's what I would want to do. I love twist, something out of the ordinary, something you wouldn't expect. And I wouldn't so much have it where he becomes weak when she's trying to get him. He's going to keep that same male strength energy, but she's gonna end up being a fighter and come back.
Okay, that sounds cool. So I don't want you to think because I came up with this idea that I've been like thinking about this all week, because I haven't. I just been looking at like different Facebook posts. You know, everybody hates Valentine's Day.
Yes,
like if you're not in a relationship, you hate it,
or even if you're in a relationship, you hate it. Because you kind of feel like you're obligated. You know, there are some men.
Valentine's Day is about me.
Before you get on your topic, there are some men who feel that Valentine's Day is this made-up holiday.
Yes, because they're cheap.
And they'll say, why should I take this one day to show you how much I care about you when I can show you every day? But I kind of be wanting to reply with, but you don't.
Or, like I said, then they're just being cheap. Because
Valentine's Day is your time to go over and beyond. You know, yeah, you may do something for them every day, but go over and beyond for Valentine's Day, especially if you don't care about it. Do it because she likes it.
You know, so yeah, and I'm spoiled in that kind of way because my dad, when I didn't have a man, he would buy me Valentine's Day gifts. So, because I would be one of those people too, like, I hate it. Like, and even one year I got kind of funny where I made a stick man figure on my pictures. Like, yes, my babe brought all these, whatever.
Oh my God, that's funny.
So I think I would make a horror movie about my protagonist being actually like the killer or whatever. And him or her, I don't know. I don't really know what sex I would pick at this point. But them just hating Valentine's Day and just going on a killing spree,
just random
throttle.
people?
Yep, and they had to be couples. Like he won't mess with other singles, but he's just, over or he or she, whoever, is just over Valentine's Day, and they just go on a killing spree, just killing all the happy couples on Valentine's Day.
And that's some shit that really could happen. Because there could really be somebody that's just pissed because it's Valentine's Day and they don't want to see all this love because they ain't getting it and they're just going to start killing people.
And they'd be the Valentine's Day killer, and they would just come back every Valentine's Day and just go on killing sprees. So it would get to a point in my horror movie where people would be scared, like they haven't caught this person, and it's been going on for some years, and like in this small town or wherever it takes place, that you don't go out on Valentine's Day because the Valentine's Day killer is going to get you.
But then you got that one couple that's probably going to want to chance it.
Yes, but okay, so it's that one couple that's going to chance it. But also, what's going to bring my show to a climax is that killer is going to find somebody. That he loves. He's gonna finally get into a relationship, but still have the urge to go killing or even kill his lover. I don't know.
I was gonna say, would they kill their lover?
I know.
Oh, that sounds good.
So if you see this become a Valentine's Day horror movie, I thought about it first, and I want my credit.
Yeah, mine too. Yeah, pay me. What time is it for us? Are we wrapping up?
I guess. Yep. So yeah, that would be my Valentine's Day horror movie.
Yes, definitely. So yeah, I mean, find y'all some good movies to watch with y'all boo tomorrow for Valentine's Day.
Keep it spicy.
Yeah, keep it spicy. Make sure y'all do something nice. Even if you don't appreciate Valentine's Day, just do something anyway.
Don't go out and kill a bunch of people. I'm not trying to give anybody any ideas now.
Don't poison nobody. Don't do nothing. Don't put nothing in the food. Girl, eat the food. It's all right. But yeah, I just want to send y'all a happy Valentine's Day from, You Can't Scare Us podcast. Hope y'all enjoy it.
Yep. And next week, not next week. We're doing this bi-weekly. So if you guys don't remember, we're doing it bi-weekly. Our episode next week will be about Black history, Black, horror movies. Black
we gonna talk about that Black people.
Whether they're the director, the protagonist, characters, whatever. We're gonna be watching Black horror.
So we're gonna dive into that. So make sure y'all come back in 2 weeks, 5:00 as usual. And we just gonna talk about some scary shit.
Yeah. Scary, creepy shit all day.
Enjoy.
Bye, guys.
Peace.
Don't let her get away, Mommy. Don't let her live. I won't, Jason. I won't.